This is the simplest movement. If I had to teach someone one lift to like, teach a man to fish, he can eat his whole life. I had to tell someone, I would teach them this just because it's the simplest. The squat's not complex, but there's more going on. There's more things for you to mess up. This is simple and a great exercise. I mean, everything in the deadlift that I want you to think coming out of the squat that we get beneficial comes out of the concentric phase, right? Muscles shortening as I stand up. Meaning what I want out of the deadlift isn't the way down. On the squat, when the load's in the back, on the way down, I'm working, right? And I'm using the eccentric phase and the concentric phase. On this one, it's all about the way up. So setting ourselves up for success will make this thing effective. There's 5 steps. You've probably seen us teach them before. They're so basic, but I want you to be very deliberate about them, have them ingrained in your mind. To this day, I'm not that strong. I'm like a 570-pound deadlifter, but to this day, every time I deadlift, I go through the 5 steps in my mind. It's super basic. Yeah. So let's why don't you guys come around to the front kind of, yep. And then, all right. So stance. When you think about the deadlift stance, there is variance here, right? It's not, the squat's pretty cut and dry, position. In the deadlift, you'll see people deadlift like this in a frog stance. You'll see people go wider. You'll see people, heaven forbid, do sumo, right? But for the conventional deadlift, the way I want you to think about it is get into a position like if you were going to do a broad jump. So everyone do that right now. If you were going to jump as far as you can, whatever that position is, that's about your deadlift width. I think you're still a little wide. Is that how you would broad jump?
I guess like.
Yeah, I think about like that. So that's just a reference point that I like to use. Now, so step 1 is with that stance, he's going to walk up to the bar and put it right over the middle of his foot. Good. See, Cam is above average intelligence because he's a Marine, right? And they think we just eat crayons and we're idiots, but we're not. But he put it over the middle of his entire foot. Most people, when you tell them to put it over the middle of the foot, they view their foot from here to here, and so they split that difference, and now it's forward of the midfoot. But just think basic physics. If I have a 100-pound plate here, and I have another 100-pound plate there, which one do I want to pick up? This one, right? Because this one, I'm all out of position. It's really hard because of the distance. So when I deadlift, I'm trying to deadlift heavy weights. I want it right over the middle of the foot. If it is 1 inch forward, it's way harder, or I can't lift it. If it's 2 inches forward, it's even harder, right? It's like this, Jim was talking about the squat and the back angle, all that stuff. If the load is actually heavy, if I pitch that squat forward, I miss the rep. In the deadlift, if it's out of position. So midfoot, 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 right? So it's over the midfoot. Now there's a problem though. It's on wheels. So in a second, I'm gonna tell him to grab it. And what's Cam gonna do? He's gonna grab it, he's gonna roll it, he's gonna spin it, he's gonna do all this stuff because it's easy to move. Or maybe he's not trying to, mimic Eddie Hall. And he just, because it's on wheels, he actually bumps it forward, right? And now it's forward to midfoot. That makes a big difference. So we're gonna make a deal. Don't move the bar, okay? So step 1, bars over the middle of the foot. Step 2, without bending your knees, bend at the waist and grab the bar outside your shins. A little bit wider, good. Step 3, bend your knees until your shins touch the bar. Good. Now, his butt is done moving. This is his hip height, and I'll explain more of that in a second. Step 4 is he's got to flatten out this back. So without dropping your butt, pull your chest up. Pull your nipples up. More, 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 more. Good. Now, step 5, stand up with the barbell. Notice how he dragged it right up his leg, keeping it over midfoot. Really good. Go down, let go, and step back. Let go, step back. So he did a really good thing. When his hips were in position and I told him to lift his chest, he just lifted his chest. The tendency for us, me too, is to squat down. So we think of, it's like people that high bar squat, they're trying to like protect their back and keep this vertical back angle. Your wrestlers are going to do this, right? They're going to be like, oh, straight back, straight back. Let me. Oh yeah, right? But look what happened to the bar. It's way forward to midfoot. My heel was off the ground, all kind of problems. So what I want you to be cognizant of is your thoracic and lumbar muscles, right? So I'm down here, and without dropping my butt, I want to pull my chest up, right? This is why Ripito always says, point your nipples at the wall. Everybody knows where their nipples are, right? But it's effective. I'll tell people in here, make your chest face the rock climbing wall. See that Life is Good logo on your shirt? When you're bent down, make it face that gray wall, right? You're like, oh, okay, boom, right? That's the motion. So it's not this, like when we're benching or something, it's this. It's the lifting of the thoracic. You can put a hand here, so boom, touch my hand, right? Those sort of things. Okay, also when that happens, you're gonna be tight and uncomfortable. And so a lot of people will start to relax their hands and relax their grip. So when you pull your chest up, squeeze the bar even harder as you pull your chest up. And what you should feel is your arm getting like longer, right? Tension, a lengthening force. So here's the load. I'm pulling away from it. My arm is lengthening, going into tension, and I should feel, whoa, I got really long arms. That point, your back's probably set, and then you stand up with the bar. When it's light, it'll probably just float off the ground. If you squeeze the bar tight and pull your chest up, let's see if it does it for Cam. So walk back up. Step one, put the bar over the middle of your foot. Good, a little bit closer to the bar, right there. Toes out slightly, heels in just a little bit. Good. Step two, bend at the waist, don't bend the knees yet, and grab the bar. Don't move it. Good. Step three, drop your shins into the bar and keep your knees out just a bit. Step four, pull your chest up as you squeeze the bar harder, harder, harder. Make the bar kind of levitate. More chest, more chest. All right, don't drop your butt. See how you dropped your butt? Pull your butt back up. Roll the bar back to your shins. Yep, right there. Yeah, there you go. Now pull your chest up and then stand. Okay, good. All the way up and down. Let go, back up. I still think that Cam is more jacked and stronger than me, but maybe I'm wrong. But what I was going after that he didn't do, and sometimes this is a useful cue to you guys, is what we call a floor breaker. So I put it over midfoot, I bend to the waist and grab it, draw my shins in, and without dropping my butt, I pull my chest up and see what happens to the bar. It just levitates because it's 135. At 315, it's not gonna levitate, but you can think trying to make it levitate, and that'll help you set your back a little bit better. Okay, so he's now gone through the steps. He knows how to do it. The difference between pulling 1 rep and 5 reps, besides that 5 is way harder, is when I pull 1 rep, I get to go through this sequence. When I pull 5 reps, I'm holding the bar the whole time. So I don't get to go through that sequence. The reason I tell you mid-foot, bend at the waist, don't bend your knees, is because I know if you bend here, grab, then drop your shins in, it's gonna set your hip height perfectly. But now I'm at the top of the deadlift and I just have to go down. Number one error for people going down, newbies, is they get to here and they bend their knees. What's the bar gonna do now?
Just slide down your legs.
Yes, eloquently put. It's gonna go forward, right? So boom, it's gonna go off my knee and land here. Now it's in front. What are you gonna do? Oh, bar's supposed to touch my shins, so you're probably gonna squat down to it. Bring your shins even more forward. You're out of position and going into rep 2. So think about the way that this happens, right? So I go to deadlift. Deadlift starts by me pushing against the floor. Quads, knee extension, right? Knee flexion, knee extension. So I'm here, it starts by knee extension. I'm standing with the bar. It gets above my knees, and now it goes into hip extension, right? The hips come forward. Obviously, I'm using my back and my lats and stuff too. The hips come forward. Boom, I stand up. So knees happen first, hips happen first. So on the way down, or second, on the way down, what?
Hips unlock.
Hips unlock first till the bar hits the knee, then it goes down. And now it doesn't need to be a reverse dead, like a eccentric negative. It needs to be fast, but if you unlock the knees first, the bar is gonna go forward. So you're gonna do a set of 5, putting the bar back over the midfoot each time. Yep. I still think you're a little wide. Yeah, there you go. Bend at the waist and grip. Drop your shins into the bar. Pull the chest up. Don't drop your butt. Stand up. Excellent. Don't lean back too much to the top. Go down fast. There you go. Raise your butt up. Okay. Go back down. Hips are here. Roll the bar back to your shins. Good. Pull your chest up. Now listen, don't pull the bar with your hands. Stand up. Push the floor away. There you go. All the way up. Don't lean back that far. Go down fast. Okay. Set your back. Right there. Stand up. Don't lean back too far. Just stand tall. There you go. Now down fast. Okay, I want you to go down about 485% faster. Raise your hips a little bit. Raise your hips, raise your hips. Roll the bar back, pull, yep, stand, push with your feet, Not going fast. That was like 100% faster. So a cadence, right? I don't want to waste energy on the way down. I'm not like there. You could make the argument the eccentric phase of the deadlift could do some things for you, and it can. But like in what we're trying to do right now, we don't want to waste energy going down. It should be a cadence. So remember, at the squat, at the top, breathe in, hold, go down, hold my breath, come up, exhale. In the deadlift, I'm down here, blood's rushing to my head, I'm tired, my hamstrings are stretching. I'm like, oh, I'm an old guy that struggles with mobility. I can't do this position. It sucks. That's okay. So quickly take your breath, boom, come up, ride that thing down, exhale, new breath into the next rep. Boom, boom, boom. Make sense? Okay.